Tav X Hebrews. Purity and becoming one. How do we become pure? It's only one way. You gotta turn to the Most High God, the God of the Old Testament, the Ancient of Days, Yahweh. Some people call him Yahuwah. Some people call him Yah. Some people call him Yahweh. Some people call him the Creator. We all know who we talking about over here. But I gotta give that rundown and that spiel down because not everybody on planet Earth understands that. Most people believe in dumb idols. And JC or Yeshua or Yahushua or Bahashim Yahushua is one of the biggest, dumbest idols that runs this earth. Okay? And I'm gonna read y'all comments too. I see y'all coming up in here. Good to see y'all, fam. Hit the like button as you enter the door. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Y'all know we always gotta wait a couple of minutes to see if any brews gonna come up in here. You heard that. What a time to be alive. Today is gonna be one of them. Every once in a while, y'all know we have a little different kind of live stream where we watch something or listen to something together. And that's what we about to do right now. You see the title of this video. Hit the like button, Hebrew. Not because you like me, but because you like the truth. You like reality. You don't mind and you're not afraid to go nose diving into the rabbit hole of truth. Because that's what we do over here. That's what all of us men and women are trying to do. At least amongst ourselves, our community. The Israelites who are turning back to the Most High in Him only. We trying to correct ourselves. We know that all of us, we were born into a world that came way off track, way before we came along. And we were fortunate enough to realize, many of us, that we were going the wrong way. Because many of our family, they were born going the wrong way. But the Most High decided to wake you up, to wake me up. So we gotta be thankful for that. Every once in a while, we have a live like this where we just listen to something together and we watch something together. I'm not gonna tell you whether to believe this or not. I'm not trying to convince anybody to believe anything. I'm just trying to share with you. When we go into the scriptures, I'm trying to share with you what I found. And on this live stream we're going to be watching today, and this ain't no Bible class, this live stream. It's going to be people with extensive knowledge in this particular topic. And I'm going to let you hear what they got to say. Forget what I got to say. I'm not an expert or a so-called expert in these things. But you have people who are. And you have people who have seen things that are not normal. And when they try to speak out about it, one way or another, somehow or another, they're not around anymore. One reason or another. We're going to get started in a minute, family. Y'all, I gotta hit y'all with this too, by the way. Before we get into this, right? And shout out to all y'all brews. I'm about to read y'all comments, right? I know I'm not the only one feeling like this. I know I'm not. And you know, history, certain parts of history, it repeats itself. In the ancient days, the ancient Israelites, before they got out of captivity, that shit had gotten so bad. Like, they were so oppressed physically, mentally, spiritually, every which way. And they were being worked to death. Okay? Mentally, physically, all that shit is tied together. So when they got you out here slaving in these fields, just like they did the ancient Israelites, yeah, they tearing you apart physically. But you don't think that takes a toll on you spiritually? Working rigorously, vigorously? I know I ain't the only one out there feeling like that. I know it's a ton of niggas out there that's feeling the same way. Okay, and I had to speak on that, right? Because this is real. This shit is real. And I'm a walking poster board for it. I'm a part of this shit. And I'm moaning and I'm groaning, not against the Most High, but against this captivity, just like my forefathers was doing. They are working the fuck out of me, okay? And I know I'm not the only person that feels like this. And this ain't just a feeling. See, because feelings can be misleading at times. This ain't no damn feeling. This is a fact. They are working the fuck out of your brother. And for those of you who may have sensitive ears, I told you. The word fuck is an acronym, okay? It stands for fornication under consent of the king. And in no way, shape, form, or fashion can anybody produce a commandment from the commandments of the Most High that tells me I can't say 4-letter words just because somebody told you it's a bad word. It's a bad word, says who? Because you said so? Because that's what you was taught? Because that's what I was taught? No, because the pastor said so. Brother, you can't say fuck, brother. Brother, that's a dirty word. Is it? F-U-C-K, fornication under consent of the king. It's an acronym. But somewhere along history, somebody said, you know what? I don't want to hear that word. That's a bad word. So, okay, society demonized the word. Same thing with the word shit. Oh, that's a bad word. God is going to get you. God is going to judge you because you said the 4-letter word shit. Well, where is the commandment for that, ma'am? Where is the commandment for that, sir? And since thou canst not produce a commandment, then that means it's just your opinion. Doesn't matter if that's what we've been taught. We've been taught a lot of shit. Okay? And like I said, they're working the fuck out of your brother. And I ain't the only one that's feeling it, because this is not a feeling. This is a reality. Okay? And it's a very strange spiritual matrix thing kind of going on. I mean, we already know that this is going on, but it's getting much, much, much deeper. How can I say? The vibration is very low. It's very wicked. The workload is what? Doubled? Damn near tripled? By the time I get out of captivity, and I know I'm speaking for thousands, probably tens of thousands of Hebrews out there who feel the same way. I don't know, maybe 100,000, maybe more. Only the Most High knows the rigorous captivity that niggas is in. Because I got both feet in it, and I'm telling you, I'm sick of this shit. The majority of the time that I am alive, And I've been alive ever since I've been born. The majority of the time I've been alive. The majority of the time of my waking moments is spent in a cotton field. Y'all gotta understand this shit. And look, trust me. Before you get any foggy ideas, anybody out there, listen to me, because I gotta make sure y'all understand this. I'm not complaining, right? Because complaining ain't gonna do nothing about it. I'm bringing out what's going on. This is a real deal. And look, like I said, I'm not trying to make it sound like I'm so tough and I can take all this and I can take all that, right? But I will say, I'm keeping that shit real with y'all, because y'all are my folks. I am tougher than the average nigga when it comes to certain ways and certain shit. Alright, I'm just keeping that shit real with y'all, because y'all my folks. So I'm not gonna make this shit something that it ain't. I'm gonna keep this shit real with y'all. I don't know no other way to say this, what I'm saying to y'all right now. I am a little more tougher than, whoever you want to compare me to. I don't compare myself to nobody, and you shouldn't compare yourself to nobody either. But all I'm saying is, because I notice there's a lot of weak men out here in society. There's a lot of weak men out here in society. And once men get to a certain level of weakness, the society goes kaput. And I'm telling y'all right now, the society is on the fritz. That's among many other things. Okay, so this whole entire society is on the fritz, especially America. America is in a total upheaval, and believe it or not, what goes bad in America will go bad for the world. Don't think it won't. What goes bad for America will go bad for the world. If America sneezes, the world will get a cold. And the stuff that's going on right now in America, oh, you better get ready. Okay? And like I said, I've been thinking about this, right? Because, and this is why I'm bringing this up. I'm not trying to, like I said, make it nothing that is nothing or nothing. I am a little tougher than the average Joe, okay? I can take more, you know what I'm saying, than the average Joe. Now, maybe if some people who actually know me, you know what I'm saying, in a deeper way, maybe they might be aware of that, right? But I know everybody might not know that about your brother, so I'm letting you know. When you see niggas like me talking about this shit is getting to be too much, now you need to really be worried. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Because when it gets like that, the chain of events that kind of atmosphere sets off is unbelievable. You know? In which many people are getting ready to find out sooner than they might believe. Well, I'm just telling y'all this because y'all my brothers, y'all my sisters. When I'm aware of something, I got to bring you up to speed. Okay? And like I said, the majority of the time that I'm not asleep, this is why I'm speaking on this. And I know I'm not the only one that feels like this. It's only the Most High knows how many brothers and sisters are knee deep in captivity out there. Because there's levels to it. The majority of the time that I'm alive, which is right now, I'm alive. Now look, I'm on here right now with y'all, right? But for the most part, the majority of my time when I'm not asleep, I'm at a plantation. Now wrap your mind around that. Wrap your mind around that. You know what that means? When you're knee deep in captivity, you got two choices. Either you can bug all the way out and lose your mind and act black, or you can actually, even though it may be hard as fuck, you can gather yourself and figure out a way to think calmly and logically in the midst of all this bullshit that's going on. Because it's all around you. And that's when it really hits you. If you really start thinking, but see, you don't have time to think. You knee deep in captivity. They working the fuck out of you. When the hell you supposed to have time to think, Hebrew? When the hell you gonna have time to think? You don't. All you got time to do is to sleep and work. I'm telling y'all, I have had it up to here, Hebrews. I've had it up to here. And so as I'm working myself to the bone in the plantation, because look, what other choice do you got? What other choice do you got until you can figure out how to get meat on your own with no help at all? That's the grinding part right there. And I'm guessing it's just for like a lot of the brothers who've been to jail or prison. Okay? The mental gymnastics that one must put oneself through to make it through. And you definitely got to be aware of your surroundings, not just physically, but spiritually and spatially. When I'm knee deep in captivity, I get to thinking about time. We only got so much time on this in this physical body on this earth, and I'm spending all of my time at a plantation. And I'm telling y'all right now, I don't even know. It's the Most High God that does it. I don't even know. And I've been doing this tip. When I say this tip, I've been and then we about to watch this presentation. Because once this presentation starts, I'm gonna do minimum to no talking. Because it's like a 45-minute presentation. And if I keep on running my big black mouth, we'll never make it through it. So once that presentation starts to roll, I'm gonna do minimal talking. You know, unless we hear something just so crazy, I gotta hit the pause button. But I'm gonna do minimal talking. Not really gonna do no comment reading. Maybe every now and again. But I'm gonna shut my big black mouth once we start watching that presentation. But right now, I gotta get this out there because I know for a fact there are thousands and thousands of Hebrews out there who can relate to this. And if anybody's coming in late, if you can, go back from the beginning and listen to the spiel down your brother's giving you. Knee deep in captivity. Like I said, I'm just thinking like some of the brothers who've been to jail or prison. They can have your body, but they cannot have your mind. When I'm toiling away every day, okay? When I'm toiling away every day, real talk, I'm talking about some modern day cotton picking 2.0 type shit, okay? Toiling away. So they got my body. Y'all, I'm doing this shit the majority of the time that I'm not asleep. That's what I'm doing. So let your mind marinate on that. Think about what kind of state of mind that puts you in. Whoever you are, wherever you are, every day. And I'm telling you right now, I used to say, man, I don't even know how I'm doing this. I want to say at least I know for a fact, at least the last 2 years, I done put out so many videos. I'm telling you, I don't know how I do it. Real talk. I don't know how I do it. I mean, what I know how I do is the Most High. It's the only thing that it can be. That's why I was telling y'all, when you see niggas like me start telling you that this shit is way too much, that's when you need to be worried. Okay? And at some point in time, anybody out there who don't know what I'm talking about, I guarantee you, soon you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. So as I'm toiling away in captivity every day, I get to thinking about the most important thing we got on this earth. Obviously, everything comes second to the Most High. Without the Most High, there is no earth, there is no you, there is no me. So we're not talking about the Most High. Outside of the Most High, the most valuable thing you have on this earth is time. It's time. Nothing else is more valuable than time. Nothing. So of course, I'm thinking about all of this stuff, right? And my mind went back to that scripture, y'all. I don't know how many of y'all have heard this scripture before, but I'm going to read this scripture because I've been thinking about it. And it came back to my memory as I'm knee deep in the cotton field. Listen to this. And this is in one of them books, of course, that they told you, don't read this, Art. Art, you can't read this, Art. Hit the like button, Hebrew. Art, you can't read this, Art. Those books they're not canonized, Art. I've read that before. There's nothing to that, Art. Oh, yeah? People been saying it for years, but not until I read this in the scripture, then I say, okay, you know what? It's not just a feeling. Listen to this. Maybe some of you have heard this before. Maybe some of you haven't. Listen to this. The book of 2nd Baruch. The book of 2nd Baruch, chapter 20, verse 1 through 2. Therefore, behold, the days are coming, and the times will hasten more than the former, and the seasons will speed on more quickly than those that are past, and the years will pass more rapidly than the present ones. Therefore, I now have taken away Zion, so that I may more speedily visit the world in its season. Did you hear that, family? Did you hear that? Sound confirmation. I'm going to read that again. The book of 2nd Baruch, chapter 20, verse 1 to 2. Therefore, behold, the days are coming. I mean, when they wrote this hadn't happened yet. And the times are hastening more than the former. So when you be saying, yo, it feel like time is sped up, that's because it has. It was prophesied that time would speed up. That's why the days and the weeks and the months and the years are rolling by crazy. More than the former. And the seasons will speed on more quickly than those that are past. And the years will pass more rapidly than the present ones. Therefore, I now have taken away Zion, so that I may the more speedily visit the world in its season. I'm telling you, that season is very close to right now. And that's why the time is being sped up. And the only time it seems like time slows down is when I go to that filthy, stinking cotton field. And then time slows all the way down. But as soon as I exit the cotton field, I'm telling you, I don't have any time. Why? Because of what I just read to you just now. And you let that sink in, Hebrew. This is serious out here. Yeah, I'm going to read y'all comments. And then we're going to watch this presentation. Once I start watching this presentation, y'all, we're not going to read no more comments because this is 45 minutes long. Earth Feeling Angel says, family, thank you so much for your attendance. To support our brother's channel, please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification for updates. Thank you very much, Earth Feeling Angel. Y'all please do that too for what the sister said. And shalom to you, Earth Angel. J Meadow says, thumbs up upon entering, please. Yes, hit that thumbs up, fam. What up, J Meadows? Avia says, shalom, Mr. Real Talk at Earth Angel. At J Meadows and family, Top X and Barakas to you all. I pray that you all are well. Yeah. Earth Angel says at Avia, shalom, pretty lady. Earth Angel says, at Mr. Real Talk, peace, love, and Baruchings to you, beloved. Same to you, Sister Earth. Earth says, peace, love, Baruchings, and safety to all. That's right. Abiyah says, at Mr. Real Talk, peace, barakas, love, and safety to you also. Appreciate that. Abiyah says, at Mr. Real Talk and Earth, I pray Barakas over you as soon as my sister and I are able to, we will. All praises to the Most High. I pray for all of y'all too. I pray for everybody on this channel, everybody that's trying to turn back to the Most High God. Because it's not many of us. It's only a sprinkle of us worldwide. Everybody else follows after the idol. Herb Angel says, family, could we please get the likes up to support our brother? And if able to barack him with a monetary gift, please see his cash app above. Thank you. Hey, appreciate that, Earth and Angel. Appreciate that. Y'all, please get those likes up. Hit that Lizite. Hit that Lizite. And also, if the Most High puts it on your heart, you want to donate, got the cash app in the live chat. And it's also in the video description. If the Most High puts it on your heart, Hebrew. And hit that like button. The like button is absolutely free. And subscribe to the channel if you're not. Stephen Walker, what's going on, bro? Stephen Walker says, all praises to the Most High. That's right, Stephen Walker. All praises to the Most High. Good to see you here, bro. Earth says, as Stephen, all praises to the Most High. Shalom and welcome, beloved. Earth says, working in the plantation, you also have to deal with low vibrational energies. It drains you and really messes with your energy chakra points. Yes, 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 and yes. Hell yeah. And I'm when I say I'm feeling the effects, I'm feeling the effects. And that's why all praises to the Most High God. Your brother getting an escape next week from the plantation. Taking me a vacation from the plantation next week. And boy, is it going to be lovely. I'm going to get some serious rest and relaxation in. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? My mind, my body, and my spirit needs to rest. Stephen Walker says that Earth Healing Angel. Hi. Earth Angel says, I can't stand working among folks when we are not energetically aligned. Hell yeah. It's a wicked rat race where all other narcs, sociopaths, and psychopaths come out. And Earth Angel, you ain't lying, yo. And I'm telling you, I done told stories before. And the place where I work at, don't get me wrong, I got some good guys in there. But it's also, I work with some serious guys. I'll just say that. I work with some very, very serious guys. People who have, what they would say, unalived people. I work with some people who have unapologetically and dogmatically unalived people. Robberies. Work with people who have robbed people, kidnapped people, abducted people, unalivings, attempted unalivings. Did I say abduction? Home invasion? Look, I work with some serious guys. Serious guys, okay? And I told the story. It's happened probably like, I don't know what, maybe a year ago, year and a half ago, maybe. Anybody who was around in that channel, y'all remember I told y'all that story. 2 Edomites at my job. A younger one and the older one got into it. I was standing right there. Niggas got into it. Man. The young Edomite grabbed, nigga grabbed a pair of metal tongs, y'all. I don't know if y'all know what metal tongs are or what a savage weapon that could be. Metal tongs, okay? Metal tongs. The young Edomite versus an older Edomite. I'm standing right there. 2 Edomites. I'm the only nigga standing right there, and it's an Asian dude. Y'all right there. These Edomites. I tried to tell these niggas, knock it off. Of course, niggas ain't want to listen to me. They simultaneously engage each other. That young Edomite hit that nigga. I don't care what nobody say. That was attempted unaliving. Nigga hitting you with metal tongs. I was like, yo. So then these niggas go to the ground. They both now they tussling around. They looking at me and the Asian dude, and they saying to the both of us, get this mother effer off of me. Both of them are attacking each other, and both of them are looking at us saying, get this mother effer off of me, right? Bottom line, right? We don't want these niggas to get killed in here. I'm not trying to witness no murder at work, y'all. And I was trying not to say the murder word, but fuck it. I said it. I was trying not to witness a murder when I'm on the clock. I ain't trying to be around that. So we fake pull these niggas, pull the nigga up off of them. And when the nigga on the bottom gets up, yo, when I say it is a lake, it's a lake and a pool of blood. I know they gonna ban this stream. They gonna shadow ban this junk, strike this junk, all kind of stuff. Already playing with the monetization, even though the channel's supposed to be monetized. But like I said, this channel's not a money-making channel anyway. But even if it was, it's supposed to be monetized. But now they playing funny business with the some old Google verification stuff out of nowhere. They just start playing games. So maybe it'll get worked out, maybe it won't. If it does, cool. If it don't, oh well. You know what I'm saying? This channel was built off of the love for so-called black people out there. That's what I built this channel for. To try to get niggas in my town and city to stop killing each other more than they were. I didn't know I was an Israelite. I didn't know I was going to be talking about the Most High, the Bible, none of that. When I originally made this channel, my goal was stop these niggas from killing each other and robbing each other every day. Because the killings and the robberies and the shootings got to be, it got so outrageous. Like 7 years ago, almost going on 8 years ago when I made this channel, it got so outrageous. I was like, yo, I'm tired of this shit. Every time I come outside, every time I go here, every time I go there, like a nigga getting killed, a nigga getting robbed, nigga getting shot up. Like, it got so outrageous. I was like, you know what? I gotta do something about this. And at this time, y'all, this one I thought I was still black. And that's how I know it was the Most High that moved me to make this channel. You know what I'm saying? And I know I just said a mouthful to y'all right now. But yeah, y'all, I work with some real serious guys. And one thing, see, some people don't understand. When you start saying certain kind of words out of your mouth and you around real men, hey, look, this shit, you got to be prepared to really stand behind your work. You must be prepared to stand behind your words when you around real men. Especially the kind of niggas who've taken people out, who've killed people, robbed people, kidnapped and abducted people, home invasions, attempted murders, all kind of things. Tying people up, torture tactics. Like, look, one of the OGs, right? And then we gonna watch this film. One of the OGs told me, hey bro, young brother, let me tell you something. If you ever gotta get information out of somebody, this is what he told. This is what one of my co-workers told me. And look, now check this out. This guy he's a reform. I ain't gonna say so-called reform, because he is reform. He changed his life. But he's a diehard Christian now. He would never do these kind of things now. You know what I'm saying? Not to me, not to you, because he don't live that kind of life, but anymore. But if you mess with his family, like, ain't no telling what he might do to you. He said, hey, young fella, because he original gangster, right? Older guy, straight gangster though. He said, hey, if you ever gotta extract information out of a nigga, whoever it is, if you gotta get information out of somebody and you gotta make sure that they tell you the truth, he said, just get a pair. He said, tie them up, get a pair of pliers, and take their teeth out, one by one, until they talk. He said, I'm telling you, them teeth is longer than what you think. I'm looking at him. He said, I'm telling you. He said, you take that teeth out. He said, trust me, that nigga gonna tell you everything you need to know. He said, when you pull that tooth out, I'm telling y'all, this ain't no lie. He said, when you pull that tooth out, it's gonna have blood on it. He said, you just take that blood, Just rub it on your shirt like it ain't nothing. Take that blood, rub it right on your shirt like it ain't nothing, like you just wiping it off. He said, trust me, that's gonna do something to him psychologically when he see you rub the blood from his teeth on your shirt. He said, that's gonna do something to him psychologically. And then he looked at me and he said, ask me how I know. Kids, you not. So, like I said, that's just a little look into why am I telling y'all all that, right? Because Earth Angel made a comment about working in the workplace around all kind of low vibrations and stuff. I work around a lot of guys who got backgrounds like what I just told you about. That's my whole point of telling you all this stuff I done told you, was just to lead you to that right there. As far as this plantation work stuff goes, I gotta get out of this plantation, y'all. It ain't no such thing as a good plantation. Doesn't exist. Only in our minds. Brother Stephen Walker says, at Aviyah, shalom, sister. Earth says, at Stephen Walker, loving emoji. Brother J.R. Meadows says, it's been go time, I'm ready for real. And you know what? That go time, and there is some truth to that, J.R. Meadows. We are living in a time like never before. King David says, Tavex just got out of slavery, probably lost 60 pounds working in this heat. Then you got to add 15 more degrees where I work at. Laugh out loud. It's 92, but for me, it was 107. Looked like I got done swimming. Laugh out loud. Damn. That's that hardcore, rigorous labor, King David. I know what you mean, bro. Earth Angel says that King David, Todd X, that's a damn shame. No AC in that workplace. Yeah. Stephen Walker says at King David, shalom, brother. Earth Angel says, Mr. Real Talk, my heart and soul breaks for you. Y'all establish the fruit and work of your hands in your own business. I pray he does, Earth Healing Angel. All praises to the Most High God for those positive words of affirmations. I appreciate that. Aviyah says, at Earth Angel 100. Yes, indeed. Earth says that Aviyah, may y'all give our righteous people rest. Yes. Please. Please. And that's why we crying out to the Most High, because of the oppression, y'all. We went and placed that stone, Isaiah 19 and 19. That's a number right there, 19, 19. Isaiah 19, 19 and verse 20. We went and placed that stone as a witness to the Most High that we crying out because of the oppression. And it says when that happens, once that stone gets placed and we cried out to the Most High because of the oppression, he said he was going to send us a savior. That's what it said, y'all. And ever since we placed that stone, all hell has been breaking loose, y'all. Kids, you not. Let me see. We got Shelly Vasquez says, Shalom, fam. J.I. Meadows says, hello, my Hebrew FBA family. Earth Angel says, at Shelly Vasquez, J.I. Meadows, Shalom, and welcome, beloved. Shelly Vasquez says, at Earth Angel, and the emojis. Earth says, that Shelly loving emoji. King David says, at Earth, yep, that's a warehouse for you. Hell yeah, I know the feeling, King David. I know the feeling. Shelly Vasquez says, I am glad you are getting a vacation. All praises to the Most High. Thank you, Shelly Vasquez. When I say I'm going to enjoy it, I'm going to enjoy it too. Stephen Walker says that Mr. Real Talk, Shalom to you, brother. You speak in that fire, strength emoji, fire emoji. Hey, I appreciate that, brother Stephen Walker. Good to have you in the building, broski. Shelly Vasquez says Abiyah's laws are healing, and so he guided you to talk about him to help you achieve your goals in stopping brothers and sisters from killing each other. And you know what? It's Shelly Vasquez. I guess you're right. Shelly Vasquez, you would be correct. When I started this channel years ago, I had no idea I was an Israelite. I had no idea about, I knew about the Bible, but I didn't come on YouTube thinking that I was going to actually be reading the Bible. talking about God, talking about Israelites. I didn't even know nothing. I thought the Israelites was, from the old days in the Old Testament. I had no idea. When I started this channel, I thought I was black. I thought I was African American when I started this channel. But in the DMV, like whatever year that was, the DMV has always had a problem with gun violence, right? And the closer you are, DC and the so-called surrounding suburbs, because it ain't nothing suburban about it with niggas getting shot and killed all the time. But they call it the suburbs of Washington, DC. Niggas be getting gunned down left and right for the smallest infractions. It's always been that way. But I don't know, I guess back the literal time when I made this channel, like I got fed up with it because it was so much. I mean, I remember it was one of them New Years. I can't remember. It might have been the New Year's from 2012 going into 2013. Might have been from the New Year's going into 2013 or 2013 going to 2014. One of them New Year's. No, I think it was like 2012 going into 2013 or something like that. I want to say. It was so bad. Like the first 30 days. It was either the first 30 days or the first 35. Might have been the first 40 days of the new year. And this is the so-called suburbs of Washington, D.C. They call it PG County. Right? All kind of towns and cities in PG counties. They call it the suburbs of Washington, D.C. It was one of them New Years. It was like the first 30 or 40 days, somebody got shot every single day. Like, that's how the new year came in. The end of the year, niggas was getting shot like crazy. And then, like, the first 30 or 40 days of the new year, somebody, usually multiple people, got shot every day. Some of them died, some of them survived. But it was like so many shootings. Like, why am I telling y'all all that? Because that's the kind of stuff that drove me to start this channel. Like, it was so many shootings, so many killings, so many robberies. Like, you could literally not go one day without hearing somebody got smoked, such and such got killed, so-and-so got robbed, so-and-so got shot. Like, I was like, yo, this is beyond out of control. It got so out of control that it made me get fed up with it. And that's saying something, okay? Because I was just like everybody else. I was very comfortable with the atrocious surroundings. Because they make us think it's normal because it's been going on for so long. You just think that it's normal when it's not normal. All right, y'all. I know I've been running my big bad mouth, but we about to watch this video. Let me read some more of these comments. I know I missed some of them. King David says, "Ty Beck, Shelly." Other Holly replying now, driving home now, so I'm more ears now. Laugh out loud. Okay. Earth says, moderators, we have a troll. He came fully loaded using MF on UFOs. Uh-oh. Here we go. Eversor says leftist triggered. Oh boy. Here we go. Leftist triggered. Now look, I'm just guessing, right? I'm guessing he's talking about me or us. I'm guessing, right? I'm just guessing. Because I don't want to jump the gun. Maybe I might have missed some comments because I see that it says leftist triggered. I don't know. I don't know if he's talking about me. I just assume he's talking about me because I'm the only one talking verbally. But nobody on this channel is a leftist or a rightist. We don't give a damn about none of that garbage. It's all garbage. What you dealing with over here is the Hebrew Israelites. We don't give a damn about no leftists. Don't give a damn about no rightists. Don't give a damn about the heathens. The leftists and the rightists are all heathens. We don't care nothing about none of them. We're actually waiting for the Most High to get rid of them both. Okay? For your information. Just in case you're thinking that I'm a triggered leftist. And yeah, I do get triggered. I get triggered by wickedness. Wickedness triggers me. And it triggers my brothers and sisters as well. Earth Angel, Shelly says, at Earth Angel, someone must have gotten them quick. I didn't even see him laugh out loud. Me either. That's why we got sharpshooters over here. Our moderators don't play. Somebody must have sniped his ass real quick. So quick, I only heard about him after he bit the dust. That's how we got down over here. We got quick draws over here. Niggas is not playing with you. And rightfully so. Stephen Walker says, laugh out loud. You all good at King David as long as you made it to your destination safely. That's all that matters, brother. That's right. Earth Angel says, at Eversa, welcome and peace. Earth Healing Angel. Okay, my bad. So maybe I got it wrong. Maybe Eversa wasn't the troll. Maybe it's another troll. My bad, Eversa. Then you know what? The troll got dealt with so quickly, I didn't even see the nigga. Okay. Hey, so my bad, Eversa. My bad, Eversa. I apologize, brother Eversa. My bad. Hey, one thing you know, hey, I'm your brother. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Y'all are the homies. If I do something wrong or if I step on somebody by accident who I shouldn't have stepped on, I got no problem backing up, recanting my take and apologizing and humbling down. Cause we ain't gonna diss nobody that's not dissing. If you come over here, of course you can disagree with us. We welcome disagreements. We're not all gonna agree on everything. We know that. Isaiah 52 and 8. As long as you don't come in here dissing, you won't be dissed. But I will tell you, if you come in here dissing, just be prepared to get dissed. And to get blocked, depending on how quick they get your ass up out of here. Because we got some quick draws over here. We got our spiritual goons out here with these wrenches, and they will draw down on your ass quick. So you come over here acting crazy. That's what I like. We like the kind of shooters that roll around with the strap out before we even know a nigga ready to play with us. One of our shooters then already took you out. And that's what we like. We like our shooters to be, they'll shoot you before we even know it's a problem. By the time I know it's a problem, Earth Healing Angel done already shot your ass. I don't even know it's a problem until I look and see a nigga laid out, leaking spiritual blood. I'm like, damn, who's that? Earth Healing Angel like, yeah, that nigga was planning a sneak attack. I had to dust that nigga off, And look, don't nobody go crazy out there, okay? We joking. We ain't telling nobody go out there and shoot nobody. Cause I can see somebody now. Hey, you see that? I told you, Mr. Real Talk is going off, He just said he wants to get the brother to shoot somebody, He told somebody to do this, We just joking, all right? We just playing around. And it's a shame that I got to say that in this day and time, but I know somebody will try to take that and run with it. Niggas is crazy. Gotta love the family. That's how we get down over here. And look, shout out to all the new people coming to the channel too. We got much love for y'all. All the new brothers and sisters coming to the channel, much love. We welcome you with open arms. I'm your brother, Mr. Real Talk. And this is your go-to YouTube channel for brotherhood, sisterhood, and an attempt at righteousness. We all human. We all make mistakes. None of us are perfect, y'all. And one thing we do, we strive for perfection, and we love the brotherhood, and we love the sisterhood. Oh, yeah. And to all the new people coming in here, if this is your first time in here, okay, I like that. Eversa says, what's TMH? TMH means the Most High, Yahweh, or Yahuwah, or Yah. It's the God of the Old Testament. Brother Eversa, okay. And see, this is something, y'all. You know what? I wasn't even planning on getting in here, chopping it up with y'all and doing all this talking that we doing. But I guess this was necessary. Because see, sometimes this is what you got to do. Sometimes this is what you got to do. It's just like when you go over to the family, your uncle, your aunt, your cousin house. Y'all going for a family feast. Y'all chowing down. You don't just walk through the door and just get right to the table and start chowing down unless you running late. But usually, you know what I'm saying, you get together at cousin so-and-so house, uncle so-and-so house, and then we all go in the backyard or the family living room or the basement. We all hang out, chop it up. That's what we doing right now. We chopping it up with the fam. You know what I'm saying? And now we'll be able to get into the presentation after we've been on here for an hour chopping it up. So definitely, y'all, when the presentation starts rolling, I'm not going to stop it. I'm not going to read no comments. I'm not going to stop it. I'm just going to let y'all watch that presentation, and then we're going to get on up out of here. But it's going to be some deep stuff. I only watched like the first 5 minutes of it, and then I decided to save it and watch the rest with y'all. Because it's real. Shelly says at Abiyah Shalom. Earth says at Eversa, it's okay. We like a good joke. We did not take it seriously. In fact, we were laughing at it. You are welcome here. That's right. Eversa said, oh, okay. Now you know what TMH is, the Most High. Yep. Earth says at Eversa, all praises to the Most High. Oh, APTTMH means all praises to the Most High. Yeah, because I know some people out there be wondering that too. Earth says, at King David, by the way, I had to stalk your page today to catch up with your new post. I left some encouragements for you. Y'all know we got the good brotherhood and the sisterhood over here. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. I see a magic number. 10 people watching, 10 people liking. Okay, we're getting ready to. We're getting ready to. We're getting ready to get into the presentation, fam. But like I told y'all, good old peeperooskies. For the most part, I will not be reading no more comments. I'm not going to stop this video once it gets going because it's 45 minutes and we want to get through this. We already been on here for an hour, and y'all know time is speeding up. We read 2nd Baruch, chapter 20. I'm tired as 10 men right now. I told y'all, I don't even know how I be doing these videos. I really don't. I really don't. Well, you know, like I said, I take that back. It's the Most High God is doing it. Probably like 2 years ago, the Most High God put a battery in my back. Believe it or not, sometimes, believe it or not, I don't be feel like doing it. A nigga be tired, y'all. If y'all only knew how tired a nigga be, if y'all only knew, if I could carry around a camera and you can see how these niggas is working the living shit out of me. And many of y'all out there as well, you going through this same shit. I can relate to our forefathers in ancient Egypt. That's all I'm going to say. Fair use, fair use. We getting ready to watch this video. Like I said, I'm not going to read no more comments. Of course, y'all can comment amongst each other, but I'm not going to read no more comments. I'm not going to stop and give my spiel in this video. We're going to watch it. Maybe if I stop it or if I say something or if I read any comment, it's going to be minimal. I'm getting ready to shut my big black mouth and we get ready to watch this video. Hit the like button if you haven't already, Hebrew. Subscribe to this channel. Fair use, which I know they still going to strike the channel. If the Most High puts it on your heart, you want to donate, you can hit the live chat. I got the Cash App link in there in the live chat, and I also have the Cash App in the video description if you want to come or watch it on the playback, or if the Most High puts it on your heart, you want to drop something off in there, you can drop something off in there, and I thank you and appreciate you for doing so if you decide to. Now let's watch this video. UFO whistleblower Phil Schneider was silenced after he said this in 1995. Let's listen.
The military has known about the alien question for the better part of 70 years, and they first saw their glimpse of what was going on as early as 1909 in the American Southwest. From me to this elderly woman here in the front is sitting a 7-foot tall alien gray. Alien agenda is the complete takeover of this planet by the year 2029. U.S. military has known about this for 45 years. They're taking over.
This is the story that took me from a curious, bright-eyed teenager interested in aliens and strange lights in the sky, the stark reality of not only the government's knowledge, but compliance with and cover-up of non-human intelligences, not only existing, but interacting with our planet. Bill Schneider was a geologist and engineer who was assigned to black projects where he would use advanced technology to bore out these giant holes underground so the military could begin building their deep underground military bases, also known as DUMBs. And in 1979, after Phil and his team kept encountering problems with their machinery, they decided to go below the surface and take a look at what was going on. And according to Phil, he and a group of others came face to face with a group of tall grey aliens. Now, Dulce is located right on the border of New Mexico and Denver, but when we look at Dulce on a map comparatively to everything else strange that we know about in the area, this picture begins to tell its own story. Phil was a husband and a father, and every speech that he did, he made it clear that there have been multiple and ongoing attempts on his life. He would always emphasize that he loves his life. He does not want it to end, but he loved his country even.
Okay, look, y'all see what they're doing right now. For some strange reason, this device, it keeps pausing the frame so you can't see the video. But I want y'all to hear this, and I want to hear this. So you might not be able to see this video, all right, because it's acting up. I'm going to try it a few more times, but if this thing keeps pausing, I'm just going to cut the video and we'll listen to the audio because I want to hear this and I want y'all to hear this. This is real.
More. And in 1996, Phil was found dead in his apartment with a medical tube wrapped around his neck. There's been a lot of speculation on Phil's claims over the last 30 years. There's a chance he may be...
Okay, look, y'all see that, right? I'm going to try it one more time. And if it does it again, I'm going to try it one more time, y'all. If it does it again, we just going to say screw the video, and we're going to listen to this audio and hear what this guy has to say.
Saw their glimpse of what was going on as early as 1909 in the American Southwest. For me...
All right, because we ain't wasting no more time. We're going to hear this. We just going to listen with the audio. Sorry about the video, y'all, but I don't know what's going on, but it can't be helped. Here's the audio.
This elderly woman here in the front was sitting a 7-foot-tall alien gray.
Let me listen. Here we go from the
beginning. The military's known about the...
From the beginning. Sorry about the video, y'all. It won't let us do it. Let's just listen.
Alien question for the better part of 70 years, and they first saw their glimpse of what was going on as early as 1909 in the American Southwest. From me to this elderly woman here in the front was sitting a 7-foot-tall alien gray. Alien agenda is the complete takeover of this planet by the year 2029. U.S. military has known about this for 45 years. They're taking over.
This is the story that took me from a curious, bright-eyed teenager interested in aliens and strange lights in the sky, the stark reality of not only the government's knowledge, but compliance with and cover-up of non-human intelligences, not only existing, but interacting with our planet. Bill Schneider was a geologist and engineer who was assigned to black projects where he would use advanced technology to bore out these giant holes underground so the military could begin building their deep underground military bases, also known as DUMBs. And in 1979, after Phil and his team kept encountering problems with their machinery, they decided to go below the surface and take a look at what was going on. And according to Phil, he and a group of others came face to face with a group of tall grey aliens. Now, Dulce is located right on the border of New Mexico and Denver, but when we look at Dulce on a map comparatively to everything else strange that we know about in the area, this picture begins to tell its own story. Phil was a husband and a father, and every speech that he did, he made it clear that there have been multiple and ongoing attempts on his life. He would always emphasize that he loves his life. He does not want it to end, but he loved his country even more. And in 1996, Phil was found dead in his apartment with a medical tube wrapped around his neck. There's been a lot of speculation on Phil's claims over the last 30 years. There's a chance he maybe didn't have all of the little specific details correct, but as more and more information comes out, the things that sounded outlandish and absurd in Phil's 1995 speech are almost commonly accepted in the modern era of ufology. So today we're going to be connecting the dots from Phil's 1995 speech and see where they connect and line up today. And I think this video is going to blow you away because it is really beginning to feel like in 1995, Bill Schneider was telling the truth.
In working with the Black Projects, I was very loyal. I was picked because I was very strong mentally. There was a bunch of us that were picked because we don't crack under pressure. We don't freak under pressure, so to speak. Everyday events don't bother us. Now, I was involved in something very controversial, almost totally unbelievable to most of you. Some of you are religious people. I think all religions have a time and a place, and they definitely have a place in America. Now, another thing I want to reach to you is that during the unbelievable part, I was involved in building another base inside of Dulce, New Mexico, which is Los Alamos Laboratory. It's a biological laboratory. On the southwest part of the Archuleta Mesa, we built an underground facility, a better part of 3 cubic miles hollowed out underground.
3 cubic miles. I mean, we've all heard about these deep underground military bases, but 3 cubic miles, 3 miles across, 3 miles up, and 3 miles long. That is hard to imagine that is the size of these things that are being tunneled out underground. And there are apparently hundreds of these things all over the United States. If this is true, which a lot of people say it is, it's almost like there is another civilization, maybe a breakaway civilization, living below us.
And to the southwest of that, we were in the process of the early stages of building. We drilled 4 large tunnel-like holes. Some of them ran 2.5 miles under the surface. Number of the original wells or drilling machines that were used were at the rate of 2 miles a day. It was fairly rapid. The equipment kept coming up broken. So we wanted to go down, we wanted to send somebody down there, a human observer, or human observers in this case, find out what was going on. Well, to our total surprise, first of all, the government knew all about it. They didn't tell anybody. When I saw Green Beret and Black Beret people encamped inside of our geologist camp, I knew something was up. The gig was up. First of all, I knew all about the alien agenda. I'll explain that in a few minutes. The large alien grays had been encamped there for as best as believed possible about 400 or 500 years. Had been one of their internal bases. And we drilled holes right on top of it. All the stinking air, all the black sooty air came right out as soon as the first hole was sunk, and all this soot came up, and well, that's when all the hell broke loose, really, all started. Anyway, after we drilled all 4 holes, it took about 2 days to drill all 4 of them. And when you build an underground base, you drill 4 basic holes, and then you build called stopes or cross-member holes across, and then you use blasting equipment, special blasting equipment by the analyzation of the rock formation, and you literally blast out or tunnel out, or deflagrate or melt rock out to build the large rooms that are required for this underground base. Well, in this process, I was lowered down the basket of one of these holes, and about from me to this elderly woman here in the front was sitting a 7-foot tall alien gray. The stench was worse than the worst garbage can you can imagine.
It's that thing we always hear, that they smell terrible. Almost every case says this.
The person the entity was absolutely horrible. I didn't waste any time reaching for my pistol. At that time, I was an engineer. I didn't have time to carry all the folderol of one of these big submachine guns that all the sea spray and the yellow fruit and all the outer perimeter and inner perimeter security people carried. I carried a little Walter PPK pistol with a 9-shot clip. This was in the late August of 1979. Now, you got a regular suit of clothes, you got a regular clothes on, plus you're in a almost like a spacesuit environment, and you're reaching for a gun. It's not the easiest thing to do, and then to pop a clip in it and start shooting. And I killed 2 of them. Yes, they're mortal and they do die. However, in the process, one of them did this. All I remember is that he just kind of waved his hand in front of his chest, and the next thing I know, this blue beam hit me and just literally opened me up like a fish. And burned my fingers right off of me. And it was some form of electrical force because the...
If you guys haven't noticed yet, he just said he burned his fingers off. Look at the fingers on his left hand. The index and middle finger are basically like melted down to a stub.
And look, that's why I wish y'all could see this video, but it just wasn't allowed. His fingers are missing. If y'all are listening to what this guy's saying the aliens shot him with some kind of weapon, and it took his fingers off. Not a bullet, some kind of like energy weapon, ray weapon, some kind of weapon that niggas don't know about. And I'm looking at this guy right now. He's missing his 2 middle fingers. Cannot make this up. Cannot make this up.
Like it being hit by a lightning bolt, burned all my toenails off of me. Completely crispy crittered my left foot.
He got shot in his hand and it burned his toes off. Y'all ain't hear what he said.
Burnt the shoe right off of me. Burned all my toenails off of me. Completely crispy crittered my left foot. Burnt the shoe right off of me. All I remember is the smoking remains, and I'm still conscious, but in and out of, I didn't remember much. And there was a Green Beret that was right behind me, risked his life. In fact, he died. But he risked his life. He shoved me back in the bass and hit the button and took me up. I wouldn't be alive talking to you today. It wasn't for him. I'm forever in debt. He lost his life. 66 Secret Service agents, Green Berets, Black Berets, frat troops lost their lives because the government, our United States government, lied, did not tell us anything about the alien threat. There's a war underneath there, and I'm talking dead serious. It's been going on since that time. Since late August of 1979, our military, the Russian military, basically the militaries of the world, have been in constant conflict with the outer space alien. The small gray, the large gray, the reptilian, the whole thing.
This is in 1979. Now, to me, what's interesting is how that kind of lines up with the Cold War, right? Because obviously the Russians, they get talked about in the Immaculate Constellation documents. The Cold War was with the Russians, but the Cold War is a weird one because it's a war that kind of never really happened. Why is that? Why did that war never happen? And, is it because both countries around the same time began to realize that there is something else here, something else that's interacting with us, maybe manipulating us, and that is where the attention really needs to be? That's just a theory. I don't know, but I think the timeline here is very interesting.
I'm going to casually mention to you something that's very scary indeed. And tell you what the alien agenda is. It's going to sound very familiar. The alien agenda is the complete takeover of this planet, the killing off of 5, 6 to 7/8 of the world's population by the year 2029.
I mean, it's 2 years off 2027. But, when we did our 2027 video, we looked at the Georgia Guidestones. Those Guidestones were erected around the time that this alien battle allegedly happened. And those guide stones, remember, those guide stones were written in 12 languages, including Sanskrit, Egyptian hieroglyphs, lots of ancient Mesopotamian languages. And the first thing is that the Earth should have less than 500 million people on it.
U.S. military has known about this for 45 years. They've told no one. As far as I know, I'm the only person standing before a crowd talking about the alien agenda, secretly. Okay. Back in 1954, I'll give you a quick overview. There was the created 1954 treaty where Eisenhower signed a pact with the known alien species of the time. There were 3 at the time. And said that we're going to deal in high technology, but you can take a few head of cattle and a few human beings and you can experiment on them. It's unthinkable. It's stuff straight out of the Nazi death camps, and I'm kidding you not, it's plain BS.
Now, 2 things that are interesting there. Obviously, he's talking about
Hit the like button, Hebrew.
Eisenhower, who is the president that seems to be the recurring theme when it comes to an agreement with a non-human intelligence in exchange for technology and abductions and things like that. Could he possibly just be recycling things that we've already heard? Maybe, but remember, this is in 1995 that he's saying this, and this thing allegedly happened in 1979 as well. Like, it's easy to confuse the fact that he might just be recycling things that we hear regularly, but forget the fact that this is so long ago. This is 30 years ago. And the other interesting part on the Nazis is Phil Schneider's dad, Oscar Schneider, was a U-boat captain for the Nazis and came to America through Operation Paperclip. So that's interesting in itself. But what's also interesting, and just think about this. If you watch the live stream we did today about, the tall blonde Nordics potentially controlling society, just consider that. Maybe go watch that if you haven't yet. Consider that. And then think about how a person, a U-boat captain who was brought to America under Operation Paperclip, his son was trusted enough and given access to be in the most deepest secretive black projects going at the time. Building the deep underground military bases was the son of a Nazi. I don't have a concrete idea of what that means, but I don't think that fact should be understated or forgotten about.
The agreed in 1954 treaty had been violated. After the great firefight, the alien-human war, I am the only living survivor talking about it worldwide at all. Only one. The other 2 are in nursing homes in Canada, and the Canadian government refuses to allow any U.S. people, including myself, to talk to them because they are afraid of kidnapping. Probably the reason I got shot to pieces and 11 attempts on my life is I am a direct threat.
They shot him up. They tried to take his life 11 different times.
To the entire system. The New World Order, the alien agenda is one and the same. It's world takeover and the decimation of the population of this planet. Now, I'm going to tell you something a little bit different about the alien species. The bad news ones, there are 9 races of alien populations. So look at a human being as a bag of food. They're not cannibals. They don't eat the flesh and the bones and all that kind of stuff. They use the glandular secretions of animals and human beings as a mixture of the vitamins for their food. They get high off of our adrenal gland substances called adrenal chrome. It's something like cocaine to them.
Okay, so there you have Phil Schneider saying the word adrenochrome, which is deep down the rabbit hole stuff. Now, again, this is 1995. I'm not going to pretend like I know what the origins of the adrenochrome conspiracy theory are, but I certainly can't give you an example of anyone talking about it before 1995. Maybe someone in the comments can let us know. But, and that's one thing that is really clouded in like proper tinfoil. Like you talk about that,
Shalom.
like that's too far. That's like
Shalom.
that's that's over the imaginary line of crazy that somehow people have drawn and what's socially accepted. But what's interesting about
Shalom SP, shout out to you. Shout out to all the new brothers and sisters finding the channel. Peace to you.
this is what is kind of accepted, and this has come out through people like Tom DeLonge and others, is that they feed on our fear and on our negativity, right? We've been told that. And that's why the world is in a constant state of conflict. Maybe that's why the mainstream media, which seems to be controlled by big corporations, constantly plays things that puts your mind in like this subconscious state of anxiety. Well, what if that is because through your adrenal glands or through whatever substance that is consumed when you are in that state of anxiety, fear, living a life that is full of worry, whatever it is that Phil Schneider is talking about here is heightened and it makes the product better or sweeter. I don't know. I'm just throwing around theories here, but it makes sense to me.
Back in 1946, we set off a number, actually 4 atomic bomb tests at Bikini Atoll. It's a group of islands in the South Pacific. I have an original photograph here with original language on the photograph that shows there is a large alien spaceship off a wingtip of a United States aircraft. It was a drone aircraft right at the point where the bomb was beginning to show a neutron flash cloud. Here's the bomb going off. Here's the airplane tip here, and here is the alien spacecraft. In 1947, questions later, please. 1947, after Roswell debacle, our military got before the U.S. Senate. They were hauled before the U.S. Senate and said, what's going on here? Well, we didn't know anything about discs until this happened. It plopped in our backyard. Total lie. They lied to the U.S. Senate. They should have been prosecuted as traitors. Anybody lying to a United States Senator or House of Representative, any Senator or House of Representative, person, President of the United States, Vice President, any cabinet member lying to the American public is a traitor and should be dealt with in an appropriate fashion.
Sean Kirkpatrick.
This is actual proof, positive, that this occurred in 1946. Now, U.S. military knew all about flying discs, and flying disc technology is early, thoroughly early as 1933. Of course, remember the Germans did too, the Nazi Germans. Hitler and all that bunch of people.
1933. It's an interesting date, isn't it? Bill Schneider, son of Nazi U-boat captain, saying the Germans also knew about the sources as early as 1933. He is referring to the Magenta Italy crash. He must be. He must be. And we didn't know about this until like a year or two ago. And he is saying specifically the Germans. And we know that when the Italians found that craft, they went to the Germans and said, is this one of yours? Because it ain't ours. You can already see little tidbits starting to line up with how we look at this thing today. And remember, when Phil was out saying this stuff in 1995, he was getting laughed out the door. Okay, this stuff didn't even get taken seriously for another 20 years. Phil was long dead before anyone started to take what he is saying seriously. And now here we are 30 years later, and so much of this seems to be what is actually going on.
Groom Lake is where the infamous Area 51, S4, S2, a CIA base, was originally a bombing range, a nuclear test site. It was later become the most secret base in the United States. It employs over 18,000 workers who work in shifts of 12 hours at a whack. Most of them work in the cover of darkness, like us. We built out 9 underground military bases there, each with an average capacity capable of basically a city underground, roughly 4.25 cubic miles hollowed out underground. Have boring machines, for instance, They don't bore. They literally vitrify and melt the rock, deflagrate the rock. It's a very sophisticated laser melting and deflagrating system. Reduces the rock to a powder and then melts the remaining rock as a coating on the inside of the base, so you don't have to use gunite cements and other kinds of things like that. That's all old hat now. Technology is just basically the new technology we get is the old hat of the military. I don't want to be real brief about it. I carried a level 1 security clearance for Riley 38 Factor. There are very few of us. There's nobody except myself, to my knowledge, talking like this. Nobody. I'm breaking the law. I'm breaking world as well as federal law, coming out and even talking about this to a group of people. I love my country more than I love my life. 2 weeks ago, I was shot in the shoulder. I don't want to gore you women out, but I was shot in the shoulder up here. I recently have become friends of a retired FBI agent who took me under the wing. Says, I've never seen a person braver than you. And I said, well, there's more coming. Our patriot movement in these United States is going to pick up the ball, and we are going to kick the parasites out.
I feel like Phil would probably be a little upset if he saw how things had turned out 30 years later. We're talking about it more, but I think the parasites have not been kicked out. In fact, they've probably multiplied.
Area 51 is only one base, one of the 131 bases. Of these 131 bases, I call Area 51 a mega base. It's got more than one base in it. Stonefly Test Range, Area 51, S2, S4, Groom Lake, and a host of others. These mega bases are gobbling up our gross national product. Right now, we're spending 28% of the gross national product on built.
Shout out to the brother, newly awakened, says that Mr. Real Talk. Much adoration, brother. Hey, newly awakened, same to you, brother. Always good to see you in here. Same for you, Shelly. Good to see you, and good to have brother Eversor in here for the first time today. At least I believe this is the first time. I don't remember seeing you here before. But shout out to you. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. Do y'all hear what this guy said? And then I'm not going to say nothing else. I'm going to try not to, because we got to get this over. And I want to see how this thing pans out. This guy actually, he got shot. This is what he's saying. He got shot by one of these so-called aliens with this thing, this weaponry, whatever kind of weapon it is. He got shot with this energy weapon, some kind of ray weapon. Shot him in his hand. Took both of his fingers off, knocked his shoe off, fried his foot, had his foot on fire. Like this thing tore him up. Hit him in the chest too. Like y'all go do y'all homework on Phil Schneider. This story is outrageous, y'all.
Building underground bases solely. That doesn't count for the defense budget. That doesn't count for the spare parts budget.
I thought I saw somebody new.
Doesn't count for any of that at all.
Dalton Daniel Talley, welcome to you.
And the black budget is dead wrong.
Daniel says, peace and blessings, family. Peace and blessings to you. Peace and blessings to you, fam. Shout out to everybody in here. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel, family. If you're not already. All right, this guy, out of his own mouth, and he's missing those two fingers. Those two fingers were gone. He got shot with some kind of ray, some kind of energy weapon that hit him in the hand, knocked his shoe off, and tore him up. Split him off. I mean, he got scars on his chest.
It sidesteps the United States Congress and its Constitution of its people and says you're a bunch of morons, you don't need to know. Well, a need-to-know basis is an executive order written during the Eisenhower era right after the Greada 1954 treaty and is treasonous and illegal in this country and should be overturned and abolished. Now, I believe in military preparedness. I believe in military secrecy to some extent, because there's always going to be spies out there, and there are always going to be people that want your hunk of territory, your house, or your ground. maybe even a country like that. Most of us remember what this crazy person in Russia, Zhirinovsky, had to say. We want Alaska back. Well, baby, you're not going to get Alaska back without a horrendous fight.
The interesting part there to me is the depth that he's talking about, the black budget, the amount of money that's being spent on these deep underground military bases. And it was only about a month ago where Catherine Fitz was on the Tucker Carlson show, and she was telling us the exact same thing about how this budget was being siphoned off to fund a breakaway civilization, which seems to be being built underground, and that all of these bases that are littered across America, hundreds of them, are all connected via trains and tunnel networks.
Between fiscal 1998 and fiscal 2015, there were 21 trillion of undocumentable adjustments in the U.S. government. If you go to our website, missingmoney.solera.com, we have years and years of documentation, including the government financials that show this. And so the question is, where's all this money going? And one of the things I've looked at in the process of looking at where all this money is going is the underground base and city infrastructure and transportation system that's been built. And
I'm sorry?
Yes. So we have built an extraordinary number of underground bases and supposedly transportation systems. Some of these are some of these are documented as part of the national security infrastructure. I think there are many more. So
in the United States?
In the United States, all over the world.
And what would be the purpose?
The purpose, if you thought you were going to get a near extinction event, so to me, there are two purposes. You have so many activities going on that you need to keep secret, that you're basically building the capacity to, for example, if you're doing a secret space program, you need to platform it from, things that can't be seen.
Now, the deep underground bases are one thing. We all kind of know about DUMBs. They're probably the biggest, worst kept secret. But what's really interesting is when Phil starts to talk about the technology. Remember, he's a geologist. He understands this stuff on a really lower micromolecular level. And he's saying that the material in the SR-71 Blackbirds and even some submarines came from another world.
Up here I have different artifacts explaining some of them are alien metals that have been produced both on this planet and the confines of outer space that are now used in all stealth aircraft. All stealth aircraft, for instance, all black jets. What you're seeing of black helicopters and the like, the skins and the coatings and the residues that are used predominantly in the aircraft themselves, in the airframes and the rotor blades and the fans, and in some cases in submarines, special titanium hulls, the Phoenix class submarines now. All this has come from alien technology.
Okay, and this is a part that really kind of blew my mind. Okay, we've done a lot of 4chan read-throughs recently, and a lot of them are to do with this mobile construction unit in the ocean, right? That seems to be operated on some kind of AI. And the story is that it recycles these UFOs and repurposes them for whatever it needs. They are single-use machines. And the theory is that things that get too close to it, that have this alien material, that this construction unit facility recognizes as its own, basically just gets pulled in and recycled, right? Well, he's saying here that there have been submarines fitted with this exotic black material. It's also on the outside of the SR-71 Blackbird, but also on submarines. And we did that 4chan read-through of the Lockheed Martin attack submarine. So a submarine that Lockheed Martin had adapted. It's not clear what they did to it, but we know Lockheed Martin are heavily involved with reverse engineering programs, and they had manipulated this submarine that just vanished when it approached this thing. And this is the story from someone on 4chan, and this submarine was part of a fleet with the USS Hampton. If you haven't seen that video, go and check that out. I'll leave a link to it below. But it really makes what Phil Schneider is saying here extremely eerie.
1947 is what the public has been told. Something crashed in the backyard in New Mexico, a place called Roswell, New Mexico. Unfortunately, that's what the public's been told. The military's known about the alien question for the better part of 70 years, and they first saw their glimpse of what was going on as early as 1909 in the American Southwest. Now, Army cavalry evidently were chasing some bandits, and they entered this cave. They were holed up in a cave, and what they found in there was flying discs and little gray guys and all kinds of weird things, and they didn't know how to explain that, and they wrote them down as best they could, and it's been in secret archives ever since.
1909. He's saying that happened in 1909 in the American Southwest. Again, look at that map. Look how much strangeness seems to happen on this map. And it's only a couple of years later is the famous G.E. Kincaid story of the area in the Grand Canyon that, by the way, is named entirely after ancient Egypt. There is the Tower of Ra, the Temple of Set, Horus, all of these Egyptian names are there. It's entirely prohibited. You cannot go there. You cannot even fly over there. But in there was allegedly cave systems, places for rituals, Egyptian hieroglyphics, and this is all in the American Southwest.
The alien thing is more than just what I'd call a non-visible threat. We on the surface, first of all information dealing with alien or alien reproduced technology or alien reproduced vehicles or any other kinds of things well hidden from the American public. Our black budget, for instance, garners $1.023 trillion every 2 years. It's over $500 billion a year. Right now, there are 131 active deep underground military bases in the United States. There's 1,477 of them worldwide. Each one has an average cost of $17 to $19 billion. Each one is built in the site. It used to be, it would take a year to 2 years to build each one. And now they're capable of building a couple of them a year with sophisticated methods. My colleague, Al Bielik, has actually been on some of the high-speed railways, the magneto-leviton trains that connect all the deep underground military bases within the United States. He's been on a Mach 2 train and floats off of a single rail at a 3/4 of an inch off the rail and is what you'd call high tech. We have nothing like this on the surface.
He's talking about maglev trains in 1995. Back then, this stuff would have sounded pretty much like science fiction. I mean, it's crazy to hear this. And now today, I mean, even still, America doesn't have a maglev train on the surface, neither does Australia. I think Japan are like in the process of building one. And there's ideas of America making one on their surface, but still nothing. But what's interesting is that what would have sounded probably like science fiction in 1995 is commonly accepted and known science today.
The public basically has been totally lied to. We're considered stupid or even moronic in some cases. It's got to stop. If we're to gain our country back, we must, and I repeat, must instill in our public officials, anybody that goes and does public service, they must tell us the truth. If they cannot do this, then they must be impeached or they must be removed from office. If this cannot occur, if the truth cannot totally come out, there are reasons for secrecy, for instance, but if the truth cannot totally come out, for what's the use in us having anything called freedom? I have actual crashed retriever metal from Roswell, New Mexico. It's given to me when I was 14 years old. For instance, I've got other things I've got.
Just note that it was given to him when he was 14 years old, crash pieces from Roswell. Again, I did say his dad came over in Operation Paperclip, automatically would have been put into very high places. And at 14 years old, I can't think of many high-level military people who would just give a random 14-year-old a piece from Roswell. I mean, I can only speculate that this might have come from his father or through his father somehow. The connection to the Germans who came in Operation Paperclip and this off-world technology is obvious.
A piece of titanium, a special titanium alloy made for everything from the original SR-71 Blackbird, it's old hat now, F-117A is their old hat now. They're making a whole new class of hypersonic above Mach 5 aircraft that employ extremely modern charged particle beam weapons. They don't even use lasers anymore. Computer enhanced imaging radar, although it's used in helicopters for public surveillance, computer enhanced imaging radar, and in satellite technology. The brand new kid on the block is a kind of infrared technology for a satellite at 150,000 miles out in a geosynchronous orbit, or not quite geosynchronous orbit, but these spy satellites can literally look in and see a dime on the floor, let's say on your kitchen floor.
Again, I know I keep saying it, 1995, he's talking about satellites in geospatial orbit that can see a dime on the kitchen floor in 1995. But we just can't work out what happened to MH370. I wonder why that is.
They have a resolution factor 99.999961. This particular piece of metal, I'm going to drop it on the floor here, it'll kind of ring like a bell. You can't break it. Withstand temperatures in excess of
Would you like to know when someone is online on the...
Hit that like button, Hebrew, if you haven't hit it already. This has been some very interesting stuff right here. And this guy, he got shot by one of these things, with one of these laser, ray weapons, energy weapons, whatever you want to call it. He got shot with one of these things.
7,500 degrees Fahrenheit. It has niobium in it. It also has mironite in it, element 123. It's in a non-crystalline form. This is just kind of a dripping out of the main crucible. Here's a crystalline example. It's in the scalenohedral crystalline form. We got this from the large grays technology. This is grown in the confines of outer space, which has not quite a super vacuum, but by the way, this is capable of withstanding temperatures in excess of 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. It's great for certain parts of aircraft. This kind of material I work with on a daily basis.
So what's interesting there as well is he's saying this metal has been made in the vacuum of space. Now, look, I'm not a metallurgist. I don't profess to fully understand this stuff on like a technical level, but I'm not trying to, okay? I just need to understand it enough that I can relay it to us general normal people, okay? And what's interesting is that from people like Gary Nolan, who does study this stuff at like the molecular level, these are the things that he says, is that the way that the atoms of these off-world materials are structured are like layer by layer meticulously placed. The example that I always use is it's like you could fill a bucket by just dumping a whole bag of sand into it, or you could go in and stack each grain of sand one by one. That's how these materials are made when they are looked at through a microscope. And that's only achievable in a vacuum, when there's zero gravity in the vacuum of space, like Phil Schneider has just said. Now, a lot of this stuff is compelling so far. There are a lot of dots that we can connect, and a lot of stuff does add up. But this next clip is where it starts to enter the realm of people really struggling to grasp what Phil says. But I want you guys to remember, a lot of the things that seem crazy to us 30 years ago were not so crazy 10 years later. A lot of the stuff that were crazy to us 20 years ago or 30 years ago in this speech, kind of like commonly accepted now. So think about the trajectory of things, where we're headed, what we're learning, where we're going, and then maybe consider what you see and what you hear in this next clip.
I have a picture of one of the aliens been working for the United States Pentagon for the last 58 years. His name is Val Valiant 4. He's right here. There's my father in the background. This whole place, the ready room of the USS Eldridge, Al Bielek has probably explained, or maybe even shown you this picture. There's a list of some of the notable people in it. They're all the atomic bomb scientists of the day, all the time variant experimentalists of the day, all the top physicists of that particular day. This was in August of 1943. Now, this guy has not changed one iota in 58 years. Started work, he came here, crashed here or whatever, whether he's under duress or not, He started work for our U.S. Navy and military operations in 1937, either 37 or 38 is what I've been told.
Okay, guys, like I said, this is where it gets crazy, okay? If this photo is actually real, and what you can see there in the red circle is this alien called Valiant Thor, which looks like a Nordic, chiseled jaw, blonde hair, big, beautiful human, sitting next to Phil Schneider's dad, who, again, remember, is a German working alongside a Nordic alien. But this is where it kind of doesn't make sense, is that he said this photo was taken in 1943. Well, this is on the USS Eldridge, which is famous for the Philadelphia experiment, and that's its own whole conspiracy about a ship disappearing, and that's another video. Operation Paperclip didn't start until 1945, and this is allegedly a German U-boat captain aboard a United States naval ship next to a Nordic alien. I don't know what to make of this. I'm not sure if there are details there that perhaps falsify these claims, or maybe even, like Phil Schneider has said, history is wrong. There are things in history, in the history books, that aren't actually true. Matthew Brown even says this as well.
But anyway, he basically hasn't changed. He lives for 490 years, is what he says his lifespan is. Now, he's supposedly a semi-benevolent, he's a human-looking type person. He has 6 fingers and 6 toes, and he's got one oversized heart, one lung, giant lung. His blood vessels are bigger. He's got copper oxide for blood, similar to an octopus. His brain capacity, 300 centimeters greater than ours. He has a thinking capacity, IQ, if you were to measure, it'd be totally off the scale, it'd be about a 1200 IQ. He speaks 100 languages fluently, alien as well as others. He's a remarkable person. I had a chance to meet him one time.
And that's where people really struggle with Phil Schneider's story. And I get it. I totally get it. You know, it's especially the 6 fingers and 6 toes thing. Strangely enough, that's the detail that really gets me. But, you know, I mean, an octopus has 8 tentacles. I mean, who knows? With all the stuff we looked at in the...
Hearing that 6 fingers, 6 toes makes me sound like a Nephilim descendant to me. That's what it sounds like.
This morning's live stream where we looked at these tall whites, these Nordic beings that have been idolized throughout history as being a higher intelligence, as having slightly bigger heads, like Bill Schneider alluded to there. I don't know. Everything else, all the other things that he said that make a lot of sense today, I feel like this is the part that we're going to struggle with today, but this might be the part that, just like the rest of it, in 10 years, we kind of go, oh yeah, the Nordics, they live here. It's just the way it is now.
By the way, he doesn't shake.
Hey, Irving and Angel, you are hilarious. Herb Angel says that Shelly Vasquez, you can buy Mr. Real Talk spaceship that is millions of dollars to come. Herb Angel says it is reptilian and Mr. Real Talk. Yeah, it's crazy, y'all. It's a wild world.
He's kind of in a spacesuit because all aliens, regardless benevolent or otherwise, they're carrying germs and diseases and bacterium in and on them that are deadly to us. If I were making policy out, I'd quarantine them all because how do we not know that some of our diseases like AIDS, Ebola, hantavirus, and a few of these other weird designer diseases, as I call them, are not made from the cadavers of some of these aliens as a biological weapon to use against the people of the United States? Well, I'm a tired American speaking out. I'm going to sum up this talk and mention an overview of the alien agenda. The alien agenda is really decimate the planet to take the remaining human subjects as slaves, and the aliens would use this planet for their own means. Number one, this cannot be allowed to happen. The world takeover plans of the New World Order, a direct carbon copy blueprint from Adolf Hitler's routine of 1933 to 1938, must not be allowed to happen. That includes the name, the New World Order. That was purposely used, folks, because most of us have been lazy. We have not read our history, and I'm talking to you because I'm one of them. We have not read our history books. Things have been omitted. Throw out basically what you've learned. I'm not asking you to believe me. I'm asking you to re-educate each one of
You
yourselves
hear?
and ask the unexpected of your public officials, of the people around you, your teachers. I'm not asking you to question authority. I'm asking.
SP says Simon Toko warned them. SP, I never heard of Simon Toko, but I'm definitely going to go look him up now. Simon Toko.
You to question the teachers of this authority. Is this right? Is this law correct? If a law, one of the best statements to ever come out of the mouth of any human being, believe it or not, Martin Luther King, excuse me, said, an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. That should be a motto that we live by. Not so much for the man who said the motto, but I'm sure George Washington said something similar. Who said, an uninformed populace is a populace in slavery.
If Phil believes that the alien agenda, what is actually going on beneath the surface, is there is an alien agenda to take over society, take over and enslave humanity, and that is the same as the New World Order. It makes you wonder because a lot.
Okay, y'all hear that? You pretty much get the gist of all this stuff that this guy was saying. This guy got shot by one of these things with an energy weapon. Took off both of his fingers. Okay? Took off both of his fingers. Knocked his shoe off. Hit him in the chest too, by the way. He said that white beret or that green beret soldier saved his life as that alien was shooting at him with that weapon underground. Y'all, this world is nothing like what they told us, y'all. They did a whole bunch of lying to us, y'all. And I know for a fact, I've seen things before. I told y'all that story like last summer when I seen that shapeshifter at the gas station. I seen this for myself. Shelly Vasquez says, I believe it. They put it in the movies to tell us what they really know right in front of our faces. Yep. Earth says they was hushing up that female astronaut who saw something while in space. Did y'all see it? Frightened her. Scared the living life out of her, huh? I'm not surprised. Evisor says, I believe USA is in contact with the same aliens that Germany met during World War II. Oh, for sure. Earth Angel says, Coon-headed seems to be a popular alien who visits the elite. Earth says, that's deep. SP says it's Simon. Simon is the first name. Got it. I'm definitely going to check him out. Family, I hope that somebody has been edified by this video. This world ain't nothing like what they told you it was. A lot of those books that they tell you, hey, don't read this, don't read that, don't read this, don't read that. It talks about that kind of stuff. The Book of Enoch, the Book of Giants. Okay, many other books out there they're going to tell you not to read. And that's why, because it goes into deep detail. Shelley says in the movie Thor, in order to get the heavens, the camera goes into the ocean to go up. At least that is what it looked like to me. It's crazy because one of the brothers at work was just talking about that the other day. Saying how they saying that the way to get to so-called outer space is to go down through the ocean. This world ain't nothing like what they told us. It's all lies, y'all. SP says this Halloween might be a real Halloween. Laugh out loud. Hey, you ain't lying, SP. Hey, SP, you ain't lying, SP. Herb Angel says family SP says Simon Toko, Black Jesus. Look him up, y'all. Eviso says that Earth Angel, I got it. Full 10 full diving suit. Aviar says that does anyone remember the movie Holes? Excuse me. No, I never heard of it, Aviar. SP says right at Earth Angel. Shelly Vasquez says at Aviar, yes. I'll have to go looking into that. I never heard of it. Earth says, I told you the Transformers are the real aliens and those Decepticons, good and bad angel. Oh yeah, I've been thinking that ever since I've been watching Transformers. And yeah, you right with that. But all right, family, I hope y'all have been edified by this live stream. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And also, for Friday, there will be no live stream on Friday. But most high willing, I'll see you on Saturday. We're going to start getting back into the righteous divination. We're going to read, yes, righteous divination. We're going to read about it. Most high willing on Saturday. All right, family. Y'all be safe out there. Much love.